Greetings, fellow mortals. My name is Kylo. Welcome back to the Warlock YouTube channel. My name is Kylo Raptor. Other Warlocks gather power while I gather internet cringe. Why am I even making this damn video? God damn it! Harman! Ugh, fuck. Fine. This video is called Avatar: The Last Airbender Review, the last cultural icon of woke communist America. What the fuck? Oh, say, can you see? I am going to crash out. What the fuck? Harman Smith. Okay. Here we go.
It's kind of insane looking back on it, just how devoted people were to this idea that Avatar: The Last Airbender was the best thing on American TV.
Because it was? Okay. First 15 seconds of the video and I'm already about to crash out. Okay, here we go.
a decade, people were obsessing over this show, saying it was like the greatest thing ever, that it was like so philosophical, that it was so deep, that it was this.
Yeah, it was. It tackled a lot of adult themes in a kid's show! Oh my god. Oh my god. First 20 seconds into Harman's vid. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go.
It's really well constructed, like animated Western product, and
Yeah, it was and still is for 3 seasons. You have a 3 season show that is much better than the fucking Acolyte. That is much better than whatever shit has come out modern. God damn it. God the fuck damn it.
anybody with like two brain cells to run together.
You don't have any brain cells.
Immediately realized that anime was where it was at,
Anime can be where it's at, but so can a cartoon like Avatar: The Last King Airbender. Ah! Fuck!
Anime was far superior to Avatar in every way, shape, and form, and
That is an opinion, and fix your fucking focus. How many times do I have to say this while talking about you? Fix your goddamn focus.
slowly, as anime has become more mainstream, people are willing to accept that like Avatar is just a knockoff product, that it's not.
Did you just say knack off? Oh my god, you need... Okay, hold on. I'm not going to crash out just yet. I'm not spending the first minute of a Harman video crashing out. I've already spent the first 3 minutes of this video crashing out.
Not all that original or fun or exciting.
It is original. It is fun. It is exciting as all hell. Ah!
That it's incredibly westernized, that it's like paused, that it's all out, trying to make a trying to pass off Korra as like as a bisexual thought. There's
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. I am pausing this video right now. I am pausing this recording right the fuck now. Oh my god. Oh my. Alright, I'm back after taking quite a long pause. Let's get back to this.
there's so much that Avatar did wrong, especially with like the sequel series, but
Then why did you mention Korra? That Korra is from the sequel series. The Last Airbender is the first, you fucking moron. Oh my god. Fuck!
I do think we're at that point
Okay.
now where we do need to come out and say that the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon, the original series, not the sequels, not the comics, not like weird Netflix live action adaptations, the original series is not that good, you know.
It is better than the shit you've produced, boy. It is much better than all the crap you've produced, Harman. I can say that wholeheartedly. I'm looking forward to change to. Oh, ain't you? Don't you like sucking yourself off? Anyway.
I've actually been watching it again on Netflix. Actually, I saw that it was on there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, let's put on some Avatar and see what we have to go with here. And what we get is this like lazy, insipid, uninspired, Star Wars. Like I don't understand. Like
I will fuck you up! Oh, you're comparing Avatar: The Last Airbender to freaking Star Wars! Oh no! The Last Airbender is better than the sequel trilogy, and it was my childhood. Oh, Harman! Oh, I need to pause again because holy shit! Fuck! Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
why Americans are obsessed with this idea of like fighting the evil empire when
You aren't fighting an empire. Oh my god, the Aang and his friends weren't fighting an empire. They were fighting the Fire Nation because the Fire Nation are full of a bunch of tyrants that decided, we're going to fuck shit up. All because because Avatar Roku died before the events of the show, which we see because his longtime friend Sozin decided, I'm going to start conquering the world. God damn it, Harman. Ugh.
like we are the evil empire, we are oppressing certain people around.
Yeah, the firebenders were oppressing people. And guess what? People were fighting back. Oh my god, this man is so stupid.
The world, we are doing certain things, we are like, we are like the evil, we are the stormtroopers.
Why? Why are you comparing Avatar to Star Wars? Fucking. Oh my god. I am already crashing out. Why? Why are you comparing Avatar to Star Wars?
Like I don't understand like the weird cognitive dissonance of like American audiences with like this obsession that like, oh man, we're the resistance, we're the rebellion, and we're just not
I'm going to fucking punch you.
at all. Well, like other Americans aren't. I'm not. I am, because like, I'll be willing to, I'm willing to come out and like address these issues, but like,
Okay, address Nintendo being an absolute piece of shit then. Oh wait, you can't because you'll keep Glock 9000 Nintendo while saying everything else is inferior. Fucking dumbass.
like really, like generally speaking, like the obsession with like the fighting the empire is just like laughably off base, because like they're always going after the wrong people, the wrong targets. They don't even know what they're fighting for, or like what people need, or like what they themselves need, or like,
Get to the fucking point.
what brings happiness and fulfillment to people, because like it's just like it's just really hypocritical and stupid, right? Like I think the worship
Oh, just like you. You are also hypocritical and stupid. Christ on a stick.
of like so much of like American made media comes down to like this refusal to become more cultured, to understand more about the world, to like this obsession of like,
Probably because either a lot of American media is built off of history or is its own thing as a fantasy with its own fucking world. God damn it! Ah!
like pretending that America is like the best country in the world when that's just like pretty observably not true. Like simply
Yeah, America is not perfect. Neither is any other fucking country. Once again, you Gluck Gluck 9000 Nintendo in Japan, not knowing that, oh yeah, fun historical fact by the way, Japan actually committed a very heinous thing by turning people into jerky and weighing them just to figure out what percentage of the human body is fucking water.
by interacting with, you know, ordinary Americans, it just becomes like just obvious, honestly. But and like I do think like Avatar, like the worship of like American media brands like Star Wars, like Superman, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, like it's such a stark contrast to how like anime fans act.
No, anime fans, from what I can tell, can act pretty fucking similar with being overly obsessive. Guess what it's called? It's called a fandom. It's called an obsession.
Because anime fans have this like deep nuanced like mindset of like they're willing to acknowledge like simple concepts, like the idea that like Goku is not a hero. Goku is Goku, right? There are things that happen because of Goku, but like just
Oh yeah, fun fact. Did you know that Goku was inspired by a Chinese property called Sun Wukong? No? Well, now you know, Harman, you fucking piece of shit.
because he's fighting the bad guys, that does not automatically make him like the hero.
It's okay. Your brain doesn't work, Harman. It is very fucking useless. It is a dead weight. And holy shit, is it starting to storm?
And of course, like you have like the original American dub that like really tried like leaning into the Superman angle and trying to like imply that like Superman was some major inspiration for the character when he wasn't.
No, it was Sun Wukong. You dumb fuck.
Right? Goku is better than Superman because Goku has a more fleshed out like concept, a better formula, and like is just a more fun character that's built to serve the story, not to fit the creator's like bizarre.
Alright. Sorry, I had to handle a few things. That's why you had some dead air. But at least you can look at Harmon's hideous face. Anyway, back to this horse shit.
Like a political ideology. Like this is the thing. Like when it comes to the Superman discourse online right now, people are like fighting over whether like Superman is woke or not, and the reality
Ah, yes, that. Woke has lost all meaning. Superman has always been an immigrant, technically speaking, because he is a fucking alien from outer space!
he always has been, but the masses just won't admit it. That's kind of the issue we've been having for the past like several decades, actually, is that people have this mindset that like things used to be woke free, that they used to be free of like American political ideology, but like in a reality, you go back to Star
Woke free. American ideology. Fucking hell, this man. Fuck.
Star Wars, they literally call the faceless, evil empire, their foot soldiers, stormtroopers. After
Yeah. Because they storm in.
the stormtrooping of of Germany. So
Yeah.
again,
Yes. Because guess what? The Galactic Empire and has been based off of Nazi Germany. You dumb fucking idiot. I swear to God. I don't like this. Ugh.
it's obviously like demonizing a certain group of people
Yeah, the Nazis and people who still believe in Nazi ideology.
who did certain things at a certain point in time in a certain place, and people back then people didn't see the propaganda of it, or if they did, they thought it was a good thing. Like that's kind of the mentality that we grew up in. The idea that things like that weren't woke is
Yeah, things like being a Nazi. Hold on, what?
we grew up in. The idea that things like that weren't woke is completely and utterly wrong.
Yeah, because woke wasn't even a fucking term in our popular culture. Woke wasn't a term in our popular culture, unlike as it is now, you goddamn idiot!
And does need to be addressed. And that kind of goes into what I want to talk about when it comes to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Specifically,
Oh, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about how the Fire Nation are a bunch of jackasses that want to rule the world? Or do you want to talk about how Fire Lord Ozai was one of the last great villains of the 21st century because of the fact that he was just there to be evil? I like. Or do you want to talk about the fact that Sokka turned from being a sexist into. Okay, I'm going to stop right here before I continue crashing the ever living fuck out.
people have this mindset that the show was well constructed, that it was
Yes, it was!
well produced, that it was well
It was!
animated, and it's just not. You know, again, it's below average when it comes
It is not below average, you fucking idiots.
to the average seasonal anime, right? The characters don't look good, the plots aren't interesting or unique.
The characters look great! The plots were very interesting! And how the fuck dare you call it? And yes, it was a cartoon, but it was considered a fucking anime! Oh, my Horn's blood-soaked ballsack! I am.
It really does just come down to the same messages that infiltrates all America, the same messages
Oh, like fascism bad, oppression bad, sexism bad. Hmm?
that infiltrates all American programming. It's just recontextualized in this knockoff anime aesthetic, right? If you really think about it, if you really
It's a children's cartoon that still resonates with adults like myself, you fucking brainlet.
look into what Avatar is actually about,
It's about a group of friends starting with Sokka and Katara, siblings of the Southern Water Tribe who happen to have found the last airbender, Aang, who also happens to be the next fucking Avatar.
it really is just about
What the fuck? Hold on! Hold on a moment. Ain't no way! Okay, hold on. I need to fucking laugh again. You had to change your shirt in the at the almost 7 minute mark. Oh my god, Harman, you're a fucking mess.
It really is just about violence being bad.
No, it is much deeper than violence bad. Oh my god, you are so stupid. It is much deeper than violence bad. No, it's being a evil fuck is bad. I'm joking.
Violence doesn't solve anything. It is
Well, violence can solve a lot of problems. It's just the fact that with Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang was a part of a group of people who normally don't fight, who normally don't take lives. The air nomads never took a fucking life. And guess what? That passivity still saved the day because, hey, guess what? Aang learned how to take away Ozai's bending. Therefore, stopping the violence and stopping the war.
the core message of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, it's not.
And this is a show about stopping a war with violence.
Okay, first and foremost, you have not watched that fucking show. It is much more than stopping a war with violence. It is a journey about growing up because Aang, along with the other characters, actually have, guess what? Character development! Aang grows to be more of an avatar as well as more caring of all life, and eventually he learns how to take away other people's bending, which he does to Ozai. Katara grows as a character. Sokka obviously grows as a character and gets rid of that fucking sexism that he had at the beginning of the show. Zuko is the biggest example of a character going through an entire arc. Throughout the entire show until the third season, Zuko has changed from being just mindless, basically almost a villain of the week, and hating and wanting to catch Aang just so he can regain his honor, to having regained his honor as well as regained Iroh's trust, along with joining Team Avatar and teaching Aang how to firebend. God damn, you're an idiot.
The message is inherently hypocritical.
There's a lot of messages in the show, you idiot!
This is why the ending was so polarizing, why so many people had like a problem.
What do you mean why the ending was so polarizing? The ending was perfect. Everyone got peace.
Problem with it, and
Who? Who has a problem with it outside of you? Who has a problem with the ending of Avatar: The Last Airbender? You know what? Hold on. Let me pause this recording so I can ask people in a Discord server I'm a part of surrounding another salt miner who here doesn't like the ending of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hold the fuck on. Okay, I'm now back from asking the question.
the core issue with the show in general is that it's supposed to be this adventure story about the savior of humanity.
No. No. It's an adventure story surrounding a group of people surrounding the Avatar and the Avatar learning to grow as a person. He I am going to fucking lose my shit.
The Avatar, like, go.
Yeah, the Avatar who is supposed to learn how to bend all four elements and is supposed to stop the war by killing, or in the case of the actual climax of the show, taking away Fire Lord Ozai's bending. Therefore, Aang sticks to his beliefs of, not killing because airbender, and the world is saved through peace, and the world is at peace and no longer at war. Christ on a fucking stick.
Going out and resolving this worldwide conflict. Like the Fire Nation attacked, and
Yes, because yes, that is the whole premise of the show. And guess what? It works.
we have to stop them.
Yes, because the Fire Nation are a bunch of poo-poo heads. Fucking hell, okay. Because the Fire Nation are a bunch of shitheads who. Ooh! Yes, because the Fire Nation was led by a shithead who supplanted his brother from becoming Fire Lord and in fact killed his own father. All because Fire Lord Sojin decided to go to war with the rest of the world to conquer it. And what did Sojin do? Kill all the airbenders because that was the group of people that Aang was going to come from. But haha, too late. Aang is.
It's really interesting to me how Avatar tries to do this thing of acting as if like the Fire Nation
Fix your fucking focus.
are people too.
Yes, the Fire Nation are people. They show us that in the third season! Oh my god! Okay, hold on. I gotta pause again. Okay, I'm trying to calm down.
Right? They don't want anything to do with the war.
Yeah, there are some people in the Fire Nation that didn't want anything to do with the fucking war. Guess what? They were exiled or killed. Or in the case of Zuko, join Team Avatar. Yip the fuck ye.
Right? The only people who are responsible for the Fire Nation's actions are the Emperor and his
Oh my god, bro fucking said the Emperor. Fix your focus.
daughter, right?
No! No! That is far from the fucking truth! Jesus Christ, you have not seen Avatar The Last Airbender. Okay, Harman, little history lesson of Avatar The Last Airbender. It was Fire Lord Sojin who decided to kickstart the war because of the fact that he wanted to. Sojin kickstarted the war because of the fact that Sojin's comet became a thing, and therefore he used it to wipe out all of the airbenders. Fuck! Fucking hell.
Like there are a handful of people in the military who are evil.
Not a handful, you dumb fuck. It was Fire Lord Sojin who decided to kickstart the war by wiping out the entirety of the fucking air nomads. Sojin was the reason why the war started, and every other Fire Lord continued it up to Ozai until Ozai lost his fucking bending because of Aang.
Evil, but everyone else are perfectly normal people who
Fucking hell, we got to see the more human side of the Fire Nation. It's just the fact that it took us. Nope, nope, nope. Must continue.
don't want to improve their culture, their standard of living.
Oh, you motherfucker. It's because they followed the orders of the Fire Lord until Aang showed up in the Fire Nation, and they then started, okay, maybe the war's not that bad. And maybe the war is bad. Because, well, we actually encountered the Avatar. And of course, Zuko actually joining.
Of going about their daily lives of like, the Fire Nation are pure evil because they just are, I guess.
The Fire Nation isn't pure evil. It's just the most recent fire. It's just the past Fire Lords and Azula were evil.
Yes. Oh, but they aren't though.
but they aren't. Yeah, they aren't. It was just who led them.
Like that's the core issue with Avatar, right?
Here's the core issue with you. You don't understand media. That isn't Nintendo.
Is that it does this weird thing where it tries to present like different cultures as simultaneously being very segregated of having developed their
Yes, because the different cultures within Avatar are the waterbenders, the airbenders, the earthbenders, and the Fire Nation. The Fire Nation can do fire stuff. Earthbenders like throwing rocks. Waterbenders can make waves and ice and bloodbend. And the airbenders, until Aang, and the airbenders were peaceful until they all got wiped out, except for Aang!
own unique like styles of like bending and
Yes!
culture and like you know
Yes, because the airbenders were Tibetan, based off the Tibetan monks. The waterbit tribes were based off of the Inuits. Earthbenders, I'm pretty sure, let me double checking real quick. Yeah, China and the Fire Nation were Imperial Japan.
worldviews stuff like that. But then it like also tries and like unifies them through like a messianic figure.
Yes, through the Avatar, who can bend all four of the fucking elements. And guess what? Team Avatar has at least one member of each of these groups, if I'm remembering correct. Okay, Team Avatar, and I'm only listing the humans, not the the animals as well, because people might get mad at me if I don't mention in the animals. So you got Aang, Appa, Momo, Katara, Sokka, Suki, which by the way is a Kyoshi warrior, but still, Suki, Toph, Zuko. What the fuck?
The Avatar, like they try and act as if the Avatar is like the bridge, not only between all the different cultures, but with like the mortal and the spirit realm.
Yes, he is. Ow, ow, that facepalm hurt. Ow, ow, ow.
Like you have to do what the Avatar wants. Like
no, you don't have to do what the Avatar wants. It's just the fact that the Avatar is the only one that did end the war. Fucking hell, Harman. I am going to fucking okay. Pausing. Whoop, forgot my microphone was off for a moment. Oh boy, let's get back.
Because he's the Avatar, right?
Don't.
I think Iroh.
No, you ain't talking about Uncle. No, not Iroh. No, you ain't.
Really adequately describes the mindset of the creators in season 3 when they're like talking about like why he can't be the one to kill Ozai
because of the fact that Ozai is his brother, and also the fact that the Avatar is the only one that at the point of Sojin's comet could actually be able to beat Ozai. That is why. And also it's because Iroh is a softie. I love Iroh.
like first of all he emphasized that like he can't do it, but
no, he can't.
Second of all, he does this thing where he's like, well, history will see it as just violence between family members. When
yes, because Ozai and Iroh are brothers.
If the Avatar does it, then he'll be seen as the savior. Like that's the cope.
That's. Did you say that's the cope?
Then he'll be seen as the savior. Like that's the cope.
That is not the cope. Aang literally was going to be seen as the savior because he is the Avatar. And also, once again, if Iroh were to kill Ozai, it probably would have kickstarted a civil war in the Fire Nation between those who want to follow Iroh and those who still followed Ozai. Not to mention, by that point, Ozai was calling himself the Phoenix Lord because Azula took over as Fire Lord.
That's the mindset of the creators, is that like the Avatar, the Messiah, has to has to be like the judge and the executioner.
No, that is not what the showrunners did, though, because of the fact that Aang learned how to take away someone's bending. Christ on a fucking stick.
And like the actual wants, desires, needs of like the people don't matter at all.
They do matter, they still mattered, and you are a complete idiot. I'm not even halfway through your fucking video and I've been crashing out.
Like the Avatar is the only person who could do it, not because he's a particularly good bender,
Oh no! It's almost as if by that point he's mastered firebending, earthbending, waterbending, and airbending.
because Aang isn't. He has to master all four elements. Not
Which he did.
because like he's some like deep, insightful like person, because he's a
He's a child.
child with no real world experience. Not because like there's a not because of any real like special knowledge or like
Hey, learned a special knowledge. It's called how to take away one's bending. And also, Harman, it takes time. I get it. It takes time for the stupid to get through. I get it.
drive to succeed, because like Aang doesn't even want to save the world, right? He wants to
No, he just didn't want to kill Ozai. He wanted to save the world. He just didn't want to kill Ozai, as was everybody who was preparing him were saying. Everyone was telling Aang, hey, you have to kill Ozai. Hey, you have to kill Ozai. Aang didn't want to kill Ozai because he was an air nomad. Air nomads were, by every extent, pacifists.
just be a stupid like lazy kid.
No, Aang didn't want to kill Ozai. No, Aang was told multiple times that he was supposed to kill Ozai, and Aang didn't want to kill Ozai.
Like the reality is so basically
What is with these cuts? What is with these? What the fuck? What is with these cuts? Seriously though.
in Avatar's version of reality, what normal people want and what they do don't matter
It did matter. It's just the fact that it was more or less on the back burner of, the main plot and the war.
at all. The only thing that matters is that Aang's worldview is validated.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I am going to fucking. Guess what? Aang's worldview, thankfully, was validated by him taking away Ozai's bending, which is something he learned because he didn't want to kill Ozai.
Because Aang wants peace. Aang wants a non-violent.
Everybody wanted peace. Not just heart. Not. Everybody wanted peace, Harman. Not just Aang.
Violent solution to the problems. Aang doesn't want to kill anybody.
No, because that is how he was raised. That is how he was raised with the air nomads. He was raised not to not to have a reason to take a life, not to kill. Oh my god.
And he doesn't really stop to consider like what's going on around him, the tyranny of like the Fire Nation army, the corruption in like the Earth Kingdom.
He did stop to think about it, and he solved it! You fucking moron!
The inability of
Well, unfortunately, he wasn't able to solve the Earth Kingdom problem until, the end of the show. Oh, because Ba Sing Se was taken over by the Fire Nation. But guess what? He was working to solve that corruption. because, and not to mention, Aang was paying attention to everything going on around him. I swear to fucking God, Korn is. I swear, fucking hell, Harman.
Like the Water Kingdom to do the North Pole to do anything but protect their borders, right? He doesn't
That's because you have two Water King tribes, and not to mention, the whole thing with the Water Tribe was the fact that Aang and by that Katara and by extension Aang event at some point just stopped the dogma against female waterbenders.
think about or care about any of that. All he wants to
He does.
do is just go around and have fun like he always did, while like trying to like desperately try to port Katara and fail.
Oh my God. No, he does pay attention to what is going on around the world. If you've actually watched the show, you've seen him get pissed at the fact that his mentor, a member of the a member of the Air Nomads, was killed by the Fire Nation. You saw that he got pissed. And not to mention, he's gotten pissed multiple times. A great example is when Appa got taken.
Even though he's the Avatar, like,
I swear to fucking God.
that was Aang,
Get your sausages out of my face and refocus your fucking camera.
early on.
Yeah, no, Aang early on was more or less a kid. But once again, the show has character development. Aang grew as a character and eventually did get with Katara. Fucking hell.
And eventually he develops, and like
Yes!
he doesn't really move past this mentality.
No, he doesn't move past the mentality of not wanting to kill, because that is the whole point of being a air nomad. He didn't want to take a life. Fucking hell.
Aang is like consistent in his viewpoint that like killing
His core belief of killing, which is something he opposes.
people is wrong, that
Yes.
violence is wrong, while
Yes. That's because he was raised to think that by the air nomads.
he wages violence against other groups of people for
He fights the Fire Nation because they're a bunch of dickbags.
various reasons, especially when like Appa gets kidnapped. So
When Appa got kidnapped, bro actually had a valid crash out. You are.
like when you
Aang mostly thinks that killing is bad. He is more than willing to defend himself and his friends.
when they really stop to think about it, when you really start to like take
When you really start to think about it, you're a fucking dumbass.
in like what the messages of Avatar actually encompass, especially on an episodic to episodic basis, like you really do start to see like a lot of Americanized woke programming.
Oh my God. What the fuck is woke? Seriously, what does it mean now, Harman? What does it mean now? Having good character development? Oh, sticking to your beliefs while growing as a person? Huh? Huh? Tell me!
Like even
What the fuck? What the fuck?
like a lot of Americanized woke programming. Like even very early on, right? You do see like a disproportionate amount of like strong female characters.
Oh my God. Oh, so you don't like Katara, you don't like Suki, you don't like Toph. All three are strong female characters. Toph is fucking blind, mind you.
You do see freedom fighters like Jet be demonized, and
Well, that's because Jet was actually being a fucking war criminal, and he was being a thug. That's it. He was being a thug. He was killing people, innocent people. That's why Jet was demonized.
The big climax of book one, the
Was the battle of the North Pole, where Aang, where Aang literally gave the Fire Nation, quite literally gave the Fire Nation a run for their money, and not to mention the Waterbenders had their bending taken away because of Commander Zhao. I think that's his name. I can't remember.
um the sequence that really should have like convinced everyone that the creators didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, are you talking about where Aang actually killed Firebenders, even though he was pissed off, even though he was in the Avatar state, and B, he was a big fish.
Was trying to have some girl power message like, oh, Katara wants to
No! Oh my god! Oh my fucking god, this man.
fight. Yeah, completely misrepresenting, how important it is to, you know,
No, here's the thing. Throughout that climax, you got to see Sokka's second girlfriend, well, technically first girlfriend, die and become a spirit because guess what? She was saved by spirits. You see Katara fighting, you see the Aang fighting and turning into the Avatar state, going into Avatar state, imbuing basically with the spirits and killing firebenders, which is something he does not want to do, and it's also why he was afraid to go back into the Avatar state for a good chunk of the second season of book 2.
for the female role, misrepresenting like
Also, if you want the girl power episode, look at the one where Sokka gets his ass handed to him by the Kyoshi warriors. You have an entire episode dedicated to the Kyoshi warriors.
healing, like Katara. It's very feminist coded. Like this idea that like women's work is demeaning or worthless, and that
Oh my god. No. It's the fact that the Northern Water Tribe were just a bunch of bigots, and Katara just gave her, I want to say grandfather or great grandfather, I can't remember, an ass whooping of a lifetime.
that men's work is somehow like higher status when like in reality both are important. Katara
Oh my fucking god.
like completely goes to the North Pole and like
That's because Katara wanted to learn how to waterbend even more so she can teach Aang better, you dumb fuck.
completely disrespects like her mentor, completely
That's because her mentor was being a misogynist prick. And yes, he got his ass handed to him by her.
disrespects like the people who want to teach her like healing stuff, which is like very,
Guess what? She learned how to heal. She also learned how to fight.
very, very important. Like again, it's
She knew how to heal. She just had to learn. She wanted to learn how to fucking fight.
like what exactly is wrong with like wanting to expand her skill set like outside of fighting. It's
Because she already knew how to heal.
obviously meant to like push this like um Americanized like pro feminist message that girls can do everything that men can do, and it's
No! No, it's not. There is a. Guess what? If you want the sexism message, the sexism is bad message, look at Sokka. Once again, look at Sokka getting his ass handed to him by the Kyoshi warriors.
it's just not true. Like the show tries to pretend otherwise. It tries to pretend like Sokka is useless and that like
No, he's not useless. It's just the fact that he is also a complete idiot at some points.
all the female characters, especially like Azula, are just like
Okay, Azula is a fucking crazy bitch.
extremely OP.
Azula is a crazy bitch, and she's a better firebender than Zuko. So I swear to God, this man has not seen the fucking show.
And like, incredible people that can like, I don't know, like Azula Topple's like bossing Say by herself.
Yeah, because she a manipulative bitch.
Like like it tries to pretend.
And not to mention, she thought she killed Aang. And she technically did have Zuko's help with taking Bossy and Say, let's be honest. But still, she was a manipulative bitch.
That like, these like 14-year-old girls can like
You had to point out their age when you yourself have written several books with an underage character. I don't know how I feel about that.
topple entire nations, and it's just so unbearably like laughable and
You're unbearably laughable.
just so like out of touch with reality.
You're out of touch with reality. I should fucking stop. I should stop. I honestly should stop, but I'll keep going.
Just it is it is inherently like pro message.
Where? Point to it, Harman. Is it in the room with us? Oh wait, no, it's coming from the fucking voices in your head and the people you listen to on fucking 4chan. That's where.
And my problem with it,
Oh, I want to hear your problem with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Come on, Harman. Come on. You've already managed to piss off basically two entire fucking generations. Come on.
looking at someone who's like watched the show several times and like has spent
Have you? Have you? I've watched the show several times. I think it's a good fucking show.
a lot of time thinking about this, is like just how many people just kind of refuse to like acknowledge just how blatant and how obvious it is.
Where? Tell me. Show me. Because the only girl power episode I can label for you is the one is once again the episode where Sokka gets his ass handed to him and starts his character development from being a misogynist to an actual decent human.
You know, like it is crazy to me to see how often like people try and make it seem as if like Avatar's world building makes sense,
It does.
that there was like that there's a clear progression, that there's like that
There is.
there's a reason for all this, that there's a
Yeah.
reasonable explanation, but like there just isn't. At its core, like Avatar just doesn't really exhibit a proper realization of the hero's journey, right?
It did, though, if you actually watch the show. Let me pull up the hero's journey real quick. Let me pull. Hold on. Let me pull up the hero's journey template real quick. Let's see here. You got the call to adventure, which was Aang reawakening from the ice. Then you have supernatural aid, him being essentially being a bender slash having a connection to the okay. Here we go. Ordinary world. We see that at several points throughout Avatar: The Last Airbender. Then you got the call to adventure, where Aang was called upon to become the next Avatar after Avatar Roku's death. The refusal of the call because Aang, well, yeeted himself into the eye. Ran away. Meeting the mentor. Technically mentors. Well, yeah. Meeting the mentor. Katara. One of many mentors. First, cross the first threshold. Let's see here. Aang surrendering himself to the Fire Nation. Tests and allies. Sokka taught all of the allies and tribulations Aang had to go through. Innermost Cave. Mostly the time they basically had the whole Avatar state bullshittery happening. Ordeal. The war. Reward. Reward. Let's see here. Oh yeah, multiple rewards of him learning how to be a bender. Actually, this one would be better. But yeah, mentor, helpers, challenges and tribulations on top, temptations on top of multiple allies, aka helpers. Revelation, aka Aang's death at the hands of Azula. This one's better. Revelation, and aka Aang's revival. He atones for a lot of things. He returns. He gets the ability. He gets gift. He gains the ability of taking away bending, return, and of course his changed return when he goes to fight after he fights Ozai. He shows back up in time to fight Ozai with his new technique. And finally, you have the end, aka the climax of the story. Ding dong, we're done.
Right? Aang doesn't learn anything.
He does!
Aang doesn't realize that his worldview, like his
Take your time, Harman. I know you're stupid.
pacifistic nature is not going to solve the problem. He does not reject.
It did solve the problem. It did because of the fact that he took away Ozai's bending.
His nature to do what needs to be done. Instead, he bends the world to make
How?
the worldview he's had from the very beginning viable. He doesn't.
Let's see here. He met one of the oldest creatures ever to exist in the world of Avatar and learns how to take away bending. God damn it, you're an idiot.
He doesn't grow or learn anything. And again, the fact that the series had to end on such a massive ass pull really, really demonstrates that mentality. It really demonstrates how desperate the creators were to get this anti-violence message across.
Oh, where's the anti-violence message? Is it in your head? Is it in the room with us? It's not in my record. It's not in the room where I'm recording this fucking video.
in this story about stopping a war. I think.
What is with these cuts though? What is with these random cuts though? At least you're getting better at editing.
The reason something like Fist of the North Star, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, why all these shows have kind of aged far better than Avatar.
I haven't seen those shows, but I can assure you Avatar has also aged well. It ages like a fine wine, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion is better than yours, Harman.
Why they feel more grounded, why they feel like they understand reality better, especially in the case of Naruto. Actually, it's probably the exact opposite of Avatar in this regard. Naruto understands the necessity of violence. Protecting your own interests. Going out there and dealing with your enemies. People who don't have the same values as you, who want to do you harm. Right. Violence is good because it stops people from taking advantage of you. Okay. Naruto.
I have not seen Naruto, but hold on, let me find the comment real quick. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Naruto understands why violence is necessary. It respects the heroes of the past who fought to
Get your
build
sausage fingers out of my face and fix your focus.
The village up to where it is now, and even in the future, in the age of Boruto, a ninja, even in this age of peace, are still venerated and are still understood to be like these valuable assets to society, right? The things they did when it was necessary was considered to be important. And again, like this is the westernized, post Vietnam kind of like mindset of like the American left. Like
Okay, you are definitely politicizing a kid's cartoon where it doesn't need to be politicized. My guy, stop it. Stop it. Oh wait, no, you're not going to stop it because you are fucking brainless.
violence is bad no matter the context. Like it's that's completely and totally wrong. And Avatar is a good example of just how that mindset of what happens when you put that mindset into practice.
Oh my god.
Because in reality, the Fire Lord would not be deposed by some Deus Ex Machina teaching Aang how to energy bend and like
That is not energy bending. What it is being able to take away one's bending. Ozai cannot defend against that.
preventing Ozai from moving fire. By the way, like how exactly would removing firebending from the leader of a global empire like really ruin the Fire Nation's like goals at all?
Because of the fact that it demoralizes them, and not to mention the attack fleet that was, not to mention the occupation force and the attack and the assault, like air blimps, were destroyed. That's how? Fucking moron.
Like all that would happen was that like he would just well control everything himself and like elect a successor.
Well, he already did, but his successor was also defeated.
Azula. Like some
Both Azula and Ozai were defeated. All that was left was Zuko, and Zuko was part of Team Avatar at that point. So therefore, Zuko was the only one to become Fire Lord.
somebody would step up and like continue like what the Fire Nation was doing.
You have not seen this show. Azula was defeated. That's why Zuko and Katara went to go fight her. Zuko and Katara both went to fight, both went and fought Azula. Azula was defeated. The occupation force was defeated. Sokka, Suki, and Toph defeated the invasion force. All that was left was Ozai, and Ozai had his bending taken away and was defeated by Aang. All during the whole Sozin's Comet thing.
Like again, like like oh, they took away like the Emperor's bending. Like
Yeah, they took away Ozai's bending. Pretty big fucking deal.
no, like the real reason the Fire Nation wasn't able to continue the invasion was because they beat them in a war.
No. There's multiple factors. You had the White Lotus getting rid of the occupation force in Ba Sing Se during Sozin's Comet. And during Sozin's Comet, you had Aang being the ever-living shit out of... You had Aang versus Fire Lord Ozai. Well, Phoenix Lord Ozai, sorry. Then you had Sokka, Suki, and Toph stopping the attack force that was going to basically wipe out the entirety of Ba Sing Se. And then you had Azula, Zuko, and Katara fighting, where Azula was also defeated. Therefore, yes, technically speaking, they were beaten in a war, but also you had the only person that wasn't in chains that was able to become Fire Lord. Therefore, the war can end.
Aang's actions like are simultaneously like held up as being this like grand spectacle.
Yes, because they were pretty amazing.
This amazing thing, and in reality, it's just not.
They were, especially with taking away the bending of the Fire Lord.
Like that's the core like contradiction of Avatar. This is why the series fundamentally doesn't work, and why we as Americans really need to speak out and reject against.
My guy, no, you are so stupid.
against it because these kind of messages are toxic. You know,
So are you.
it's kind of like I saw today like Stuttering Craig was talking about how like in Captain Planet, the
Who the fuck is Stuttering Craig?
characters would like look straight into the camera and tell you like not to have families because the entire world is your family. You know,
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Harman, just shut up. Shut up.
Avatar has like pretty similar messages. It's just a lot more subtle, and people seriously try and like act as if it's like some deep, profound like philosophical thing when in
Yeah, you have some deep philosophical moments like, I don't know, Iroh, every single Iroh quote possible.
reality, like all it's doing is pushing the communist message.
How? Oh my god! How? How in the fuck is it pushing a communist message? Oh my god! Fucking hell! I have lost. This is an hour and 6 minute crash out. I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, please like, subscribe. I am now. By the time I'm done with this video, 4 subscribers to 100. So please subscribe. I would absolutely love your subscription. And by the way, I have a poll. I have a poll in a community post of what video what video game y'all want me to play. I don't care what it is. Just what video would y'all like? What video game would y'all like me to play for my 100 subscribers special? Because yes, I am definitely earning 100. I am getting 100 subscribe. I will have 100 subscribers, and you know, eventually, I will have 100 subscribers, and yes, eventually, I will be playing video games once more. And the video game in question that will be played will be Baldur's Gate 3. So yay, BG3, how fun! But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, please like, subscribe for my pain. I have other videos covering Harman. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.